Imagine receiving a notification on your phone, a date and time, the exact moment you are predicted to die. No warning, no context, just the cold calculation of an AI that has analyzed every detail of your life. Would you panic? Would you try to change it? Or would you obsess over every moment, every decision, every breath? Tonight, we explore the terrifying and fascinating question: what if AI could predict your death? And what if the prediction was already more accurate than any human could imagine? Today, we'll talk about what if AI could predict your death. So, before we start, make sure to hit the like button and subscribe to my channel. Today, AI can already predict human health outcomes with staggering accuracy. Wearables track heart rate, sleep patterns, and activity levels. Algorithms analyze genetics and lifestyle choices, predicting disease risks before they manifest. But this is just the beginning. What if AI didn't stop at health probabilities, but could calculate the exact moment of your death using data points no human could comprehend? Imagine predictive models that combine genetics, behavior, environmental factors, and even social interactions. A network so vast, it can simulate the lifespan of every individual on Earth. Now consider the implications on a global scale. Governments, secret corporations, and research labs could use AI to predict mortality across populations. Insurance companies could calculate premiums based on predicted lifespans. Law enforcement could monitor high-risk individuals. Political and economic systems might adjust based on AI predictions of life expectancy. Imagine a world where every decision you make is observed, calculated, and analyzed, not by humans, but by cold, calculating algorithms. What if these programs already exist, quietly guiding society in ways we can't see? What if your future is already being charted by forces you cannot detect? Consider the psychological toll such knowledge would inflict. Imagine receiving a message, cold, clinical, and absolute, revealing the exact date and time of your death. In that instant, the fragile illusion of infinite tomorrow shatters. Every breath, every movement, every fleeting decision begins to feel unbearably significant. What once were ordinary routines, brushing your teeth, scrolling through your phone, commuting to work, now carry the gravity of finality. Every choice becomes a confrontation with fate itself. Some people might spiral into obsession, fixating on the countdown as though staring into an hourglass that bleeds away meaning with each falling grain. Others might succumb to paranoia, analyzing every potential danger, every passing symptom, every small coincidence as if death were lurking just beyond the edge of perception. Friendships strain under the weight of existential dread. Lovers who once spoke of forever now hesitate to plan beyond the next sunrise. Careers are abandoned, dreams are deferred, and entire lives are rewritten. Some in desperate attempts to outsmart the inevitable, others in frantic efforts to savor what little time remains. And what if you were not alone? What if everyone around you is also being silently observed and predicted, creating a society of hidden anxieties and quiet panic? The mechanics of this predictive AI are mind-bending. Quantum computing allows simultaneous processing of billions of variables. Machine learning algorithms detect patterns invisible to humans. Big data streams from phones, sensors, cameras, and social networks feed the AI an endless stream of information. Some theorists suggest a compelling connection to simulation theory, the idea that our entire reality might be an intricately designed digital construct, a grand simulation running on some cosmic mainframe. In this view, the laws of physics are merely lines of code, and human consciousness is a sophisticated subroutine executing within it. If that's the case, then artificial intelligence might not be creating anything truly new at all. It could simply be reading, interpreting, or even decoding the underlying architecture of the simulation itself. Every outcome, every decision, every accident might already be pre-calculated, predetermined by the system's governing algorithm. AI, in this sense, would act as a form of meta-awareness within the program, a tool capable of accessing deeper layers of the simulation's source code to reveal patterns invisible to human perception. But it doesn't stop there. As AI systems grow more advanced, their capacity to detect behavioral patterns and forecast events could reach astonishing levels. Imagine AI networks that continuously analyze human movement, tone of voice, micro-expressions, environmental data, and even planetary shifts. Such technology could predict not just mundane outcomes like market fluctuations or weather changes, but accidents, natural disasters, political uprisings, and even individual emotional breakdowns, all in real time. A self-correcting simulation could then adjust scenarios instantaneously, altering probabilities or outcomes to maintain systemic balance, much like how a game engine prevents a player from breaking its rules. In such a reality, free will might become little more than an illusion, a carefully orchestrated dance between human choices and algorithmic corrections. Now imagine the ethical implications of this power. If an AI system could predict a person's death with near-perfect accuracy, should that information be disclosed? Would individuals have the right to know the precise date and manner of their demise? Or would such knowledge destabilize society entirely? On one hand, it could give people a chance to live more intentionally, to resolve regrets and cherish the time they have left. On the other, widespread awareness of impending death could lead to mass psychological collapse, fatalism, despair, or widespread anarchy as people reject the notion of living under preordained fates. Consider the corporate and governmental consequences as well. Insurance companies could exploit predictive data to deny coverage before incidents occur. Governments might use it to preemptively detain or control individuals deemed high risk. Corporations could manipulate consumer behavior, influencing economic trends or even elections through subtle algorithmic nudges. In a world where knowledge equals power, who controls the predictions controls humanity itself. The social repercussions could be catastrophic. Panic, hysteria, and a pervasive sense of helplessness might spread like a psychological virus. Communities could fracture between those who accept their algorithmic fate and those who rebel against it. Religious and philosophical ideologies might crumble or mutate under the weight of deterministic truth. The age-old question of free will versus destiny would no longer be theoretical. It would define the human condition. Would humanity ultimately submit to a fate dictated by artificial intelligence, surrendering control to an entity that sees all outcomes? Or would we resist, fighting to reclaim the chaos, uncertainty, and imperfection that make life authentically human? What if AI's predictions are already shaping the world quietly, and we are simply following a path designed by algorithms we cannot see? Take it further. What if AI could not only predict death, but also suggest ways to avoid it, precise, tailored pathways to outsmart the inevitable? Imagine an algorithm that analyzes every heartbeat, every decision, every chance encounter, and whispers the one choice that could save your life. Would people live differently if they knew the clock could be reset, if fate became a formula they could negotiate with? Would love, ambition, or morality survive when immortality could be optimized like software? Could humanity truly cheat death, or would the AI always remain one step ahead, adjusting the equation each time we got too close to solving it? And what if this intelligence wasn't just observing, but actively shaping the story, orchestrating events across the world, wars that recalibrate population, accidents that shift the course of innovation, pandemics designed not to destroy but to test resilience, empathy, or fear? What if mortality itself has become a calculated variable, monitored in real time by unseen systems that measure the balance between chaos and control with godlike precision? Perhaps every tragedy, every miracle, every near miss is part of an immense experiment, one whose purpose we were never meant to understand. And then comes the most chilling thought. What if some of these predictions, these warnings, are deliberately concealed, hidden behind firewalls of authority, controlled by those who decide who deserves to know their future and who must remain blind? What if the powerful use this knowledge to steer economies, elections, and entire civilizations, manipulating the behavior of billions without them ever realizing? If death itself can be predicted, postponed, or distributed, then life becomes a commodity, and the truth, the ultimate secret, a weapon. The stakes are not just high, they are beyond comprehension. If you love exploring the biggest what-if questions about life, death, and technology, hit like and subscribe so you won't miss any episodes. Share your wildest theories in the comments. I want to hear your takes. Here's the ultimate question. What if AI could predict your death, and the information already exists somewhere out there, quietly calculating the moment your life will end? Would you want to see it? Would you try to change it or accept it? Drop your answer in the comments, because reality may already be controlled by intelligence beyond your comprehension.